Tonight's the night, and it's going to happen again and again. Has to happen. And no, we're not talking about the killings, we're not talking about the blood, we're talking about the Dexter reviews coming to Fog Entertainment. Welcome back, guys, to the channel, and we are here with a brand new show, a brand new series, and a brand new chapter in Fog Entertainment, because for the first time we are watching Dexter. And if you don't know what Dexter is, basically Dexter is about a serial killer that likes to hunt down serial killers. So, but
cool concept there.
Cool concept indeed, and it's strange when you're rooting for the good guy who is also technically a bad guy. But that's exactly what we have here. But he's a bad guy that likes to kill bad guys, therefore he's technically a good guy, if that makes sense.
I'd say so, yes.
The lines are kind of blurry, but you know what? We are going to go with it. Season 1, Episode 1 is called Dexter. Most shows call Episode 1 Pilot. This show not only names Episode 1 after the name of the show, but also after the name of the character. And I can't think of any other shows that does that.
No, that's quite a unique fact. If I was doing a fact about this episode, you could do that one.
You could. So we start the show with Dexter. He's driving around Miami. He seems to love Miami. He's from Miami. He's from the same place as The Rock. So automatically, I know the location of this show is going to be good.
From Miami, Florida.
And it's nice to see a different set. Normally the shows we watch, we're watching The Walking Dead, and it's just like Atlanta. It's boring fields and forests. But I think with Dexter, straight away, you see like the nightlife, the town, the beaches, the palm trees. It does look good.
I haven't seen a show based in Miami. I mean, I know there's Miami Vice, but I haven't watched it, man. Come on.
Normally, the only time we see yachts is when we're watching the Monaco Grand Prix, but I think we'll get a lot of yachts in Dexter. So we see Dexter driving about. He talks about his love for Miami. He talks about the nice night. And he says he loves pork sandwiches. He loves the Cuban food. Pork sandwiches is his favourite. But he's hungry for something else tonight. He's not hungry for food. We then see some choir going on. There's like a child choir. There's some guy leading it. And then the next minute he jumps into his car and he has a razor wire wrapped around his neck. Because it's Dexter. And I guess that's what Dexter's hungry for.
Drive, boy.
He is hungry for his first victim of the show. So he drives off with this guy, takes him to like an abandoned building. He explains that he knows what he's been doing to kids. Dexter has like buried, or not buried, but he's dug up a bunch of kids that this guy has buried. And he says that one of them, he had to dig out the hole in pieces because he was down there that long that his body was beginning to fall apart.
No, did he really need to actually go through all the effort of digging these kids' bodies up, or was that just to show the audience here, this guy here, he's dealing with a sick motherfucker?
The guy's called Mike Donovan. He said he couldn't control himself. Dexter says, look, open your eyes and look at what you did, or I'll cut your eyelids right off your face, which I thought would have been pretty cool to see, actually.
Do you think he needed to dig these bodies up, or do you feel like this was like, he actually wanted to show this guy face to face?
That's Dexter's thing. He likes to
go the extra mile.
He likes to remind these people of their victims before he kills them. So, I guess he wanted to...
As we've seen later on, though, he produces a photo. 3 photos could have done.
Yeah, he could have got... But then again, how would he get photos of these kids? I guess he had to find out who the kids were. I don't know, maybe he already knew the kids. Or maybe he just thought, you know what, I could dig them up anyway.
Oh, true. But also, I mean, it's very conspicuous, digging up 3 different graves.
Dexter then tells Mike, children, I could never do that. Not like you. Never ever, kids. I have standards. So Dexter's okay with killing people. Hell, he's even killed animals, but he will not kill kids. He then takes a bit of blood, slices them down the cheek, takes blood. He says, I'll go into my blood sample. And that is all this guy turns out to be, guys. A blood sample, because Dexter then kills him with some sort of like power tool. And that is it.
That is it for Dexter, his first kill of the show, obviously. I mean, I'm going to assume this guy's body count must be about fucking in the millions at this point. Dogs as well. No, I'm sorry, right? How can we root for a guy that probably kills fucking golden retrievers?
He doesn't kill golden retrievers. He killed a dog once when he was younger.
He's killed numerous animals. We don't know what the dog was. It could have been. You can't say for sure it wasn't.
Well, it might have been a golden retriever, but maybe it was a pish one that was barking all the time.
Oh, when a dog barks, mate, it deserves to die. I feel like that's an automatic fucking flaw for me. It's like, hold on, how am I supposed to root for a guy that's killing dogs? But that is most psychopaths. They piss the bed and they kill animals. They piss the bed next.
He is a psychopath.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Oh, wait,
So he's fitting the...
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not under the illusion that he's not like that.
Yeah, but I'm not a fan of people who kill dogs.
Well, I don't think he goes out of his way just to kill dogs, like.
Well, he kind of did. It was barking. Oh, she was sick, man. I had to put her down.
The dog wasn't sick.
Yeah, no, his mum was sick.
Aye.
It was annoying her. That's what I'm on about, mate.
So why is
If
he
you
not...
kill a sick dog, I can also accept that. I think killing a dog for me is almost... maybe not as bad as killing kids, right? I get that, but it's not a nice thing either.
Well, I guess he doesn't feel the same way as you. I guess he feels...
Right,
I guess he feels
I'm not a serial killer, Dexter, right, mate? Put it on your eggs and toast, son.
The next day, though, we see Dexter on his boat called the Slice of Life. Pretty ironic that he's on a boat called the Slice of Life and he spends his time slicing up people. He fakes a couple of interactions. It's kind of funny. He says that most people get through life faking a lot of human interactions, but he feels like he has to fake them all, and he fakes them very well. But I think that's pretty crucial for a guy in his line of work. A guy that is a serial killer, you probably have to have a good poker face if you want to not get caught.
Yeah, I think his most evident poker face is when he's with, what's his name, Dokes?
Dokes.
I feel like with him, the way he treats him like shit, he's smart and he just plays it that way. When anyone else would be like, why about you just back off?
Yeah, react and get angry. He says that that's just the way he is. He doesn't blame his foster parents, though, Harry and Doris. They did a wonderful job of raising him, but unfortunately, they are now both dead.
They are done. They're absolutely dead in the water.
Speaking of his dead in the water parents, it is now flashback time. We are introduced to young Dexter and we see his dad. His dad says that he found the... Well, I say dad is... Well, technically it was his dad. It was his adoptive father, Harry. He says that he found the grave and he brings up a dog named Buddy. And he wants to know what happened to Buddy. He tells Dexter that he's found Buddy. He's found the bones. Dexter says that the dog would not stop barking. It was keeping up his sick mother every single night. And that Dexter felt like he had to do what had to be done and take care of the dog. Then Harry explains and says that there was more than just Buddy's bones in the grave. So
it was Rogers.
Buddy Rogers. So we find out here that Dexter has killed a dog. I guess this was not his first victim, or because there was other bones in there, but we learned that Dexter was killing animals, dogs, small animals. Don't know how to feel about that, being an animal person myself. Kind of like animals, certainly wouldn't kill any of them, but I guess Dexter's a psychopath, a serial killer.
So you look at Miami, the animals, I mean, was he killing crocodiles? I doubt it, so maybe it was a small reptile, snake, lizard creature, or maybe it was more like a squirrel or a bird. That's probably the more realistic options here, but I mean, he killed a dog called Buddy, come on. Buddy. Oh, buddy of mine, you barking little bastard.
Come on, Dexter, how could you? He then parks up his... Well, I say parks up, he don't really park a boat. But he takes his boat to the marina.
You dock a boat?
You dock a boat. He takes his boat to the marina before returning to his apartment. He lives in a nice apartment, I'll give him that.
It's a weird apartment, though. It doesn't look nice on the outside, but it's nice on the inside.
Yeah, you see the complex. He goes in, though, and heads immediately for the air conditioning unit, where he removes the ventilation cover. Then he takes out some casings, and he pulls out a blood slide box, where he puts the remainder of Mike Donovan. I think that's the only thing left of Mike Donovan. His body, his parts have been dumped in the ocean, and now his remaining blood slide is being placed in Dexter's air conditioning unit fence.
It's scary how easily you could just get rid of a body in the middle of the ocean. No one would ever find it.
Yeah, so he is now one of many. And this is Dexter's trophy box. This is his trophy collection, where everyone he has killed lives inside his air conditioning unit. What's your thoughts on that?
It's smart. I mean, obviously, because it's just like a little blood sample, so you can keep loads at a time. But what's the end game with it? Because, like, he labels them, doesn't he? Each of them will be labelled.
Yep.
So he's collecting them. So is he going to, when he retires, is he just going to get out one day and go back? Oh, remember I killed him. Remember I killed that guy. Is that the end game? So he can like have a joke about it one day.
I think he just wants to keep a list.
It's just a competition to him.
Possibly. It's just a trophy. It's literally that, a trophy box.
But also, like, say someone did get suspicious of him and they did like a search warrant in his house.
Well,
this fucking box. I mean, is that not him humped?
Yeah.
There's 400,000 different traces of blood in your fucking air conditioning unit, buddy. Oh.
How's he going to explain that?
One of them's a dog.
I wonder if Buddy's in there.
I stuffed in the AC unit.
I doubt the slide box is that old. Then he sits down and he basically appreciates his work and he's pleased that he's honoured the code of Harry in this kill. His dad taught him that he should, if he's going to kill, then he needs to kill without being caught. And we see a flashback later that basically his dad says, look, what happened to you was tragic, Dexter, but you're a good kid. And we're not going to let that ruin you.
What was the tragic thing, man?
There is, we can make good of your new skills or your new pleasures, or what would you call that?
Psychotic needs?
Needs, pleasures, whatever, right? You're
a bit weird though that this guy who's like a cop would just completely like back this and be like, yes, you know what, I can exploit this.
But Detective Harry, Dirty Harry, his logic is there's bad people out here that escape the justice system. Well,
I like his logic, but let's be real. He could very easily have just ended up being like one of these other guys who don't hunt bad people.
Yeah, true. But I guess Dexter is putting his bad feelings to good use. So it kind of works. Dexter then notices a phone message from his adoptive sister, Debra, who is also she works for she's a FICE officer, but I think she's like lowly. She's at a low level looking to get promoted.
It's weird. It's like one of the few shows where like they're adopted. I can't think of another show we've got like an adopted family.
Dexter says that he doesn't have any feelings for anybody. He doesn't feel nothing. But
Psychopath.
If he could feel anything, he would have feelings for Debra, because Debra is amazing. He then heads over to meet her at the crime scene. She is, I guess she's like undercover technically as a prostitute.
It's weird though, she's undercover, right? But she's also like, wearing a uniform. So that makes, usually people who go undercover are like proper detectives. Not just like your day shift police.
Hold on, what uniform was she wearing? She was dressed like a slut.
Yeah. But then when we see her later on, she's wearing like a normal police uniform.
Yeah, but she's not on the scene.
Yeah, but usually people who are undercover are actually like, a bit higher up the chain of command. If you actually like, well, maybe that's just my knowledge for watching other TV shows. Maybe I'm completely wrong with that, but it is what it is.
But no, she was definitely undercover wearing a sex suit, as Dexter called it like that. Then he jokingly asks her where she keeps her gun, which is a good point, like, because considering there was like nothing there but skin technically. She explains the situation, said that a dead hooker was found chopped up and in pieces, and it's the third one in 5 months, which means they have a serial killer at work, which kind of Dexter I think gets a little bit excited about. Debra doesn't know who the suspects are, but she wants Dexter to help her with this case because she is trying to obviously get a promotion, and she thinks Dexter's good at stuff like this and that he always gets hunches. And finally he agrees to help her, so he says that he will go and look at the case. So Dexter walks over to the swimming pool where we are introduced to Vince Masuka and Angel Batista. That is Detective Angel Batista, not World Heavyweight Champion Dave Batista. They reveal the body, but there is no blood. It's basically just a body that is being cut up into pieces with no blood, and Dexter is amused, he's bewildered. He is the blood guy, he is the man that comes, the blood forensic guy, and there's no blood for Dexter, so basically he is kind of rendered useless here.
It's home time, he has to go, but I like this visual of a body with no blood. Makes you automatically intrigued, and it just looked like a butcher's where you see it on display, didn't it? There's no blood.
It did. And Dexter is left wondering if indeed this killer has exceeded his own abilities. So maybe Dexter's not the man in Miami when it comes to killing. We then see Dexter have another conversation with Debra, or maybe this was before, but he tells her when she goes to speak to the captain about a promotion, tells her to keep the sex suit on, which I thought was pretty funny. We then see him deliver donuts for his run into his workplace. He brings donuts into the into the department, and he's offering everybody donuts. I mean, maybe trying to look like a nice guy again, maybe trying to fit in, but
I feel like it's a good way to introduce characters, and also it's kind of like a way for him to like scan people, figure people out.
Yeah, all these people are taking donuts. I don't think Sergeant Dokes got a donut.
No, the donuts ran out before they got the Dokes.
I'm pretty sure the last person to get a donut was Detective Batista. So, yeah.
Angel Batista.
Batista gets a donut. That is good for him. Dexter then takes a donut to Camila Flegg, who is the records supervisor. She basically is the one that checks in records, checks out records. And he basically says that he likes to look at other cases when he is not working cases of his own. So you can see that Dexter is committed, but in reality, all he's doing here is trying to pick out victims for himself. He's not interested in helping the department. He doesn't want to get people justice. He wants to get people his own version of justice.
He wants to bring hardcore justice down the now.
He does, but I thought when Angel Batista though took the last donut, and then Dexter looks into the box and he thinks, empty just like me, empty inside.
That was very good. I like that for Dexter.
It was good. We then see
Sergeant Dokes. He is a sergeant, isn't he?
Yeah, James Dokes, Sergeant Dokes.
You know what? I like this because immediately I thought initially it was kind of like banter, then I quickly realised here he does not fucking like him one bit. He creeps him out, man.
Dokes wants a report. He's like, look, this is what happened. Get your fucking crayons out. Write me a report. Drug dealer came in, killed them, killed the bad guys, took the drugs. Do it. Dexter's like, yep, I'll work on that. Dokes walks away, and Dexter wonders how come out of an entire building of cops, how come this is the only guy that gets the creeps from him? So yeah, I mean, Dokes is the only guy that seems to be...
Like I said earlier though, I feel like the reason why he gets the creeps from him is because he gives him so much abuse, and he just eats it up. He doesn't react. He has no feelings to react, and he's playing Dokes like a fucking fiddle. And Dokes can't read him. And while Dokes is probably a good police officer, a good sergeant, and this is the only fucker he can't read, which is probably eating live at him. That's what I take for this.
Surprise. Dexter then goes to check out the crime scene before writing Dokes his story. Dexter doesn't agree with Dokes' story though. He thinks that this was more personal, and that when you look at the blood, it tells that the killer indeed killed the male quickly, and then he took his time with the female. And I did think it was a pretty good scene, a good visual, where he sees Dexter like setting up the whole like blood splatter equipment and stuff.
It's mad how I've never seen that before.
Like,
not that I'm a detective or any blood forensics, but I've never seen that used before. That's cool. I like that.
Well, we see a lot of it in the show, but
yeah, but I've just never seen it before. This. Not saying it's not real, obviously it's real, but I like this.
No, I think it's just mad though that people that weren't in the scene can set all this up and discover how much blood went here and what kind of slices and all this stuff they used.
I guess logically it makes sense. Obviously the bigger the slice, the more blood, but the way he's able to work it, like here, this one was more romantic, what was the word he used? It wasn't romantic, more personal, while that other one was like, yeah, that was a hit to kill sort of hit. I like the fact he knew that.
Pretty much. He leaves to take a lunch break, but he's not really taking a break because he goes to stalk his next target, Jamie Jaworski, who is a valet, but he's got a secret hobby of being a rapist, so Dexter infiltrates...
What a fucking hobby that is.
What a hobby there you got there, buddy. He infiltrates his building where the guy's got a dog. The dog tries to chase Dexter, but he locks it outside, and Dexter's like, dogs don't tend to like me. No wonder, they probably know he killed Buddy, for God's sake.
This dog will be left home alone.
This dog could be next.
Never let out again for a pish.
He goes on to the computer and he finds out the website where Jaworski, I guess, makes snuff films or whatever, and he notices he's got the same tattoo. So, but like, basically,
this guy's case fell apart due to a faulty search warrant.
Pretty much, yeah.
It just shows you like how piss poor the police work can be sometimes for like all departments, because he's literally logged on. Notice this guy has the same matching tattoo. Boom, like that.
Yeah, and I don't think the case is going to fall through with Dexter. He tends to carry through his cases. We then get introduced to his girlfriend, Rita Bennett, who is a domestic violence victim. Rape victim, domestic violence victim.
He knows how to pick them, Dexter.
She's got no interest in sex, which suits Dexter down to the ground, because he has no interest in that either. He has no interest in intimacy. He has no interest in feelings or anything like that.
So what's he doing then?
All he wants to do is kill people and blend in as a normal guy. I guess to be a normal guy, he needs to try and find someone to date. So that's pretty much.
So if someone's suspicious of him, it's like, well, he has a sort of alibi. He's with her rather than here. He's all alone all the time, killing people. I get that.
So he wants to fit in. Although, I mean, he does seem to get along with her kids. I wouldn't say Dexter. It's not like he dislikes people. He just doesn't have feelings.
You can put on feelings though.
Yeah,
Some people have no feelings and can't do that. But he's got the higher IQ ability to do it.
They then go on their date to the Crab Festival, where Dexter runs into police, and there's another crime scene where he meets with Angel Batista again, and Batista's like, yo, the guy's at it again. Same sort of body, no blood, more cuts.
I think he was more angry with the fact it was a Friday night though.
Yeah, Angel Batista can't believe it. He's like, how dare he make us come out?
He's got to work SmackDown, then he's got to do this.
How dare they make us come out and work on a Friday? You know, have a heart, have a little bit of compassion. And Dexter's like, yeah, should only kill a Monday to Thursday. So, although Dexter, he doesn't take days off. He'll kill
7 days a week.
He'll kill any day
7-11
of the week. Dexter then tries, when he's taking Rita home, he goes to show her like where the cuts were on the body, and he runs his hand across her thigh, but she thinks that he wants to have sex, so she runs out the car and runs into her house.
When he's actually just demonstrating where the cut was.
Yeah, and Dexter's left there wondering what the fuck has he done now. Next day, him and Debra's at lunch. What I noticed straight away in this scene was that Dexter had a big massive sweat mark down his back. I don't know if you noticed that.
Is that due to heat?
I don't know, but just if you look at his shirt, it's like a big massive sweat, like a big it was fucking
I didn't notice it, like,
a big massive line.
I probably noticed it, but it's Miami, everyone has it.
Yeah, so
I hate to live in Miami, man.
Debra wants to have, needs more information. Dexter's kind of like zoning out. But he mentions the terms cell crystallization, and honestly, I had no idea what he meant. And I don't even think Debra knows what he meant.
No, crystallization. I'm aware of, like, you know, cold makes blood flow less, but I was never aware of this crystallization shite.
Now, Dexter speculates that the killer could be using a refrigerated truck to transport the body parts. Later, by the way, I believe this case is referred to as the ice truck killer. So, yeah,
that's road truckers.
Yeah, nice wee.
Yeah, what he's thought of here logically, it's not like it's a groundbreaking. It makes total sense for a killer to be constantly on the move. It's not a set location, but I hope for the sake of the show, it's not like Dexter's working out these things that aren't too hard to work out, and the police force are just like looking like fucking dickheads the whole time.
No, I don't think it's that.
I think his adopted sister here is a bit of a fucking Mongol.
Well, no, she's not the smartest cookie, is she? In the box, in the packet.
A donut.
Next day,
she's the empty. That's
she's the empty box. Dexter feels emptiness inside, and her head's emptiness inside. The next day at the briefing, they're going to attend the briefing. Dexter notices Mrs. Donovan. She's inquiring about her missing husband, but her husband is going to remain missing because the only part of him that is left is the bit of blood that is in Dexter's blood cells. Dexter is interrupted by Dokes, and Dokes asks him, has he got a thing for grieving widows? And he calls him a psycho as well. I mean, we haven't really seen much of Dokes and Dexter, but every single interaction they get, you just feel like this Dokes guy does not like Dexter at all. He's giving them a hard time.
You almost feel like even in the pilot here, he's already got suspicions of some sort.
They go for the briefing. Dokes is like, look, there's no blood. You don't belong here. There's no reason for you to be here. But Lieutenant Maria LaGuerta says that Dexter should come in and that he can sit in the case and that it's going to do no problem. So, yeah, that's that. We go into the briefing. Dexter tells Debra that she should bring up the refrigerated truck. But she tries to, and she doesn't do it very confidently. She stutters, and she's like almost speaking in like a silent form.
This is one of those things where
it was like
you would almost change the channel for how embarrassing it was.
It was like when they picked the kid to like speak in class. That can't talk.
What about the refrigerator truck?
The refrigerator truck, and like Werther just shoots this down, and you got Dokes looking back at Debra, thinking, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So yeah, it didn't go too well. Follow the meeting.
See what she bought, man. Dexter should have stood up and be like, "Guys, she's a tool, man. I'll explain it."
Yeah. Dexter then goes and meets with Dokes and Werther in her office to go over the cokehead murders case. Dexter insists that the murders had nothing to do with cocaine, and he tells them again that the man was quickly dispatched off while the woman was an emotional kill. He suggests an old boyfriend. Dokes plays off Dexter's hunch as a waste of time. But we later find out that Dexter was actually right and Dokes was wrong. Dokes warns Dexter though before leaving. Dexter was checking out like the blood pattern. Dokes says to him again, "I'm watching you, motherfucker." So
I'm watching you, motherfucker.
Yeah, he doesn't
Got
like
my eyes on you, motherfucker. Surprise, motherfucker.
But right, it's time to go to the construction site because Dexter's going to get a second kill of the episode, second kill of the show.
Hang a bit.
No, he's going to take out Jaworski. He captures him at a construction site. Now, I think Jaworski was looking for copper. He was, or whatever it is, copper, brass, I don't know. What was he looking for again?
Copper it was, definitely copper.
Copper. But Dexter had like put up some photos of the people that he had killed. He went to check out the photos, and while he was looking at the photo, Dexter came up behind him with like plastic sheets wrapped around his face. Don't quite understand why. Just look.
Yeah, because it's not like he's doing it to hide his identity, because this guy could be dead.
I think it was just to give me something to laugh at, to be honest.
Creep him out, man.
So he injects him. The guy wakes up on Dexter's kill table. Dexter again takes blood for the blood slide. Jaworski admits to his guilt, and he says that he's not sorry, and Dexter's like, "Yeah, neither am I," and kills him with a cleaver. So we've had a couple of different kills. First time it looked like a power tool, some sort of power drill that he killed the first guy with. Now he's using a cleaver. So
he likes getting them doing it naked, like.
He does. While he's dismembering the body, Rita calls Dexter and asks if he can see him. He is going over to see Rita, but before he gets there, he notices a refrigerated truck. What is the chances of this?
Pretty slim to none.
Almost like the refrigerated truck picked out Dexter rather than Dexter picking out the truck. He follows it.
Even the way it came behind him, then like awkwardly went round him.
Yeah, he's trying to like drive. It was like he was trying to overtake it. It was like a Formula 1 race at the start where he's like driving around the side of it, then pulling in behind it, trying to get the slipstream. They drive onto a bridge that is under construction. The bridge ain't fixed, so Dexter just stops in the middle of the road. The truck drives up, gets to the end of the bridge, does a 3-point turn, comes at Dexter, headlights on. You think we might get a head-on collision, but no, the only head-on collision is the head of the last victim. It gets tossed at Dexter's car, and that's pretty much it. The refrigerated truck drives off, and Dexter leaps at the car, and he picks up the head. Police arrive on the scene. He's questioned by Werther. Dokes is just standing there glaring at Dexter. He doesn't like Dexter. He doesn't trust Dexter. Werther tells Dexter that he was right about the cokehead murders, and Dokes arrested the boyfriend, but she tells him that he still hates him. So there you go. You might have helped him with the cokehead murders case, but Dokes still hates you.
Dokes has it in for Dexter, man.
Werther begins to flirt with Dexter a little bit, but he says that he's tired, and he says that he needs to go home, but he does ask her to give his sister Debra a chance because she's smarter than she looks, or sounds, or maybe both.
Everything, man. She's smarter. Is she, though? I'm not buying it. I mean, everything she said was what he was feeding her anyway, so...
Yeah. It's early morning next day. Dexter arrives at Rita's house. He took so long to get there. Rita thinks that maybe Dexter's pissed, and that's why he didn't come the night before, but he explains that no, he got...
I've no feelings. I don't know what pissed is.
He got another call, had to go and check out another murder. Rita then begins to like slowly take off her nightgown. It looks like she thinks Dexter wants sex, but in reality Dexter doesn't want sex, so this kind of doesn't work well for Dexter. But while she's on top of him, the phone goes, and
you should answer that.
So yeah, Dexter's like, normally it would be like, don't answer that, it's nothing, but Dexter's like, no, that's important to answer that call. She answers it. Her son, who's on a sleepover, has been sick, so she needs to leave. Dexter's like, yeah, you should leave, you need to go and get him. So she leaves and Dexter manages to escape without getting any sex. He then returns to his apartment where he notices a small doll's head that has been like stuck onto his refrigerator door. Almost like a Barbie doll, headless Barbie doll stuck on his refrigerator door. And it's like, I guess, it fits in with the whole...
Decapitated head.
The decapitated head and the ice truck killer, the refrigerated truck. They've got a head here stuck on his refrigerator, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yep, and then as he opens it, there's obviously like a dismembered Barbie doll, just like the bodies.
Yeah, Dexter then lifts out the little body parts and he's intrigued. Dexter says, I suppose I should be upset, even feel violated, but I'm not. In fact, I think this is a friendly message, kind of like, hey, want to play? And yes, I want to play. I really do. And that's the end of the episode, guys. There you go. That is Dexter for you.
So it's a weird message at the end. Is it a case of, here, you were the guy that almost caught me on the bridge, or is it a guy of sending them a message of, here, I know you're another fellow serial killer like me?
Me and you are alike. And who knows? They're going to play. They're going to be playing against each other. Are they going to be teaming up? We'll have to wait and see. But that's it for episode 1 of Dexter, the premiere, which was also called Dexter. I enjoyed it. I thought you got a pretty much a bit of everything. I thought you got comedy. I thought you got the whole thriller aspect. Got blood. No, very good episode in my opinion. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I liked it for the premiere. Worked for me. Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say I'll give it a 7. I feel like they gave us a lot. I feel like in terms of premiere, it's one of the premieres I feel like that gives you the most out of a show I've watched. Like, again, I feel... I understand why they've revealed him as a serial killer earlier on for the sake of the show. It's not like you could wait a season and be like, oh, he's the one killing people. I feel like for the writing of the show, I've always looked at it like, is it not a bit poor that this guy's a killer as well? But
the only reason... I think the only way that would be poor would be if he was like the main story and the whole point of the series was to find out who is the killer and the killer, but he's it. But there's like multiple killers. It's like a whole. There's like a shitload of cases. It's not like he is the only case. They're trying to find out. Yeah. And so far, nobody even knows him. No one even suspects him. So him being a killer is pretty much irrelevant in this case.
Surely, though, if he's racking up this amount of kills, it must be like, here, there's all these missing people here that were all formerly wanted at one stage. Come on.
Possibly. You're giving it a 7, I'm giving it an 8, so that's a 7.5 out of 10, guys. We will be back for the episode 2 review, which is called Crocodile.
Crocodile Dundee.
So yeah, crocodiles. So any crocodiles be getting cut up into pieces, or any crocodiles be getting murdered?
Probably.
Can you take blood for a crocodile?
Of course you can.
Be a good way to get rid of the bodies.
Cold blooded though. Might not have any blood.
Maybe they've been sitting in the refrigerator too long.
God damn.
Anyway, that'd be a good way to get rid of the bodies. Just feed them to the crocs.
That's it.
And on that note, guys, we've been talking a crock of shite. Catch you in the next one. Peace.